Hi, welcome to my channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'm going to be sharing a very late October TBR slash just books I want to read during this spooky season. First of all, I want to acknowledge my amazing ghost face earrings. I'm obsessed with these, and yeah, I am just so ready to talk about some Halloween themed books as well as just some other spooky books I am looking forward to reading this season. So really quick, I am co-hosting 2 readathons this month, so Stabathon has already happened. I did this with my friends Naomi and Cami, and it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I will link the announcement video above, and also maybe I'll just link the playlist above of everything from that, but it was so much fun. And I'm still doing Spooktober, which lasts the whole entire month. I will link the announcement video above for that one, and all the information for that is on that announcement video, as well as the hosts and all their information. But yeah, this is just such a fun month, and I'm so excited it's October. So for my book club this month, which is called the Lights Out Book Club, I will be reading The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. I did a poll between this and Nothing But Blackened Teeth on my Instagram a few weeks ago, and this one won, so we will be reading this one, and I'm really excited for it. My co-host for the live show will be Erin over at Erin Megan here on YouTube, and the live will be on October 24th at 7 p.m. CST, and we'll be discussing this book, so I'm really looking forward to discussing it. I'll read a little blurb of what it's about. In a boarded-up house on a dead-end street at the end of wild Washington woods lives a family of 3. A teenage girl who isn't allowed outside, not after last time, a man who drinks alone in front of his TV, trying to ignore the gaps in his memory, and a house cat who loves napping and reading the Bible. An unspeakable secret binds them together, but when a new neighbor moves in next door, what is buried out among the birch trees may come back to haunt them all. So this is also an arc that was sent to me by Nightfire, so I'm really thankful. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this and discussing it. So Gabby from Gabby Reads, as well as Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, are hosting Camp Weekend Ween, and this is from October 29th through the 31st, and I'm so excited for this one. There's a few prompts, and honestly, I'm not sure what book I'll be reading for this, but a lot of the books I'll be talking about in this TBR could work perfectly for it, so I'll read the prompts for it really quick. Read a book with green on the cover. Read a book with a group of teens as the main characters. Read a slasher, thriller, or horror book. And the last one is read a book with a camp setting. So I'll probably just try to fit one book into all of these categories or into most of the categories. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. So all the information I just talked about will be in my description, and let's get into my TBR. So I'm currently reading White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, and I just want a quick touch on this book. It's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm on page 117. So this is about Marigold, and she moves from California to this small remote town in the Midwest. And she thinks this is a great start for her new family. They're a blended family, and basically though, her stepsister starts to act really creepy and start to freak her out, and the stepsister's just awful. She treats her horribly, and she just doesn't fit in with the family. The house also seems to be off. There's weird smells happening, and she keeps getting these horrible nightmares, and it really seems like the house may be haunted. So far I'm really enjoying this. It's a great YA haunted house book, and the creepy kid factor in here is amazing. I haven't read many books with creepy children, but they're really effective, and I just really enjoy Tiffany D. Jackson's writing style. I think it's really fast-paced. I will say there's a little bit of a subplot of a romance, which I'm not super into, because if you've been on my channel for a while, you probably know I'm not into romance in books. I sort of feel like it takes away from the plot just for my own enjoyment in horror novels, but besides that, I'm pretty hooked on this book, and it's helping me get out of a reading slump. So I wanted to break up this video into some parts. So the first part is October themed books. So the first one I want to talk about is The October Boys by Adam Millard. So in 1988, on Halloween night, a group of 12-year-old boys are out trick-or-treating, and they hear in the distance this ice cream truck. But it seems to turn sinister, and one of the boys actually disappears and is never found again, and is taken by whoever runs this ice cream truck. So in October 2016, Tom is still haunted by what happened in his past. His friend still has not appeared, and he decides to go back and try to solve once and for all what happened. And so he goes back to where it all took place, and actually the rest of his group of friends are there already, and they're all ready to confront this ice cream man. So this definitely gives me It by Stephen King vibes. I know it's a lot shorter, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting to this one. And the whole creepy ice cream truck really sounds haunting and perfect for this season. The next book I really want to get to is Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge, and here's this stunning cover. It says Halloween 1963. They call him the October Boy, or Ol' Hacksaw Face, or Sawtooth Jack. Whatever name, everybody in this small Midwestern town knows who he is and how he rises from the cornfields every Halloween, a bloody butcher knife in his hand, and makes his way towards them, where gangs of teenage boys eagerly await their chance to confront the legendary nightmare. Both the hunter and the hunted, the October Boy is the prize and an annual rite of life and death. So this sounds really good. There's kind of a common theme with haunted houses or just Halloween things, and they always seem to take place in the Midwest or kind of in the northern regions of the US. I find this perfect because I just moved back to the Midwest, so I'm loving this aspect of the descriptions I'm reading on these books. But I've heard really good things about this one, so it's pretty short and I'm looking forward to picking it up. It's only 169 pages, so I hope I get through it soon. All right, let's talk about Halloween Party by R.L. Stine. First of all, I love the Fear Street book covers. They're just so nostalgic and amazing. But there's a lot of buzz obviously about Fear Street because the Fear Street trilogy did come out on Netflix a few months ago, and if you're wondering, I did enjoy them. My favorite was probably the second half of 1666. I just loved how it ended and it was so exciting. I've never read anything in the Fear Street series, but it says the invitation arrived in a black boarded envelope and was delivered by the beautiful and mysterious transfer student. The inside showed a coffin with the inscription, "Reserved for you," perfect for an all-night Halloween party in an old house on Fear Street. The party was well underway when the lights went out. That's to be expected at a Halloween party, but when the lights come back on, there was a boy on the floor with a knife in his back. Just a Halloween prank? Maybe, maybe not. Now the guest trick-or-treating has turned to terror, and it looks like someone's idea of a party game is murder. So this sounds really fun. I can't wait to dive into it, and it's a short little book. It's only 147 pages and it's really tiny as well, so I'm looking forward to this one. So now let's talk about just overall spooky books, and I also want to do a little bit of a library haul because I did stop into the library today in my area for the first time, and it was so fun to find all the featured spooky books there. So before we get into the library haul, I want to read There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, and I really enjoyed The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. So I obviously had to pick this one out, and this looks like it's a bit of a slasher and kind of about a creepy house. And the inside of the cover says, it's been almost a year since Makani Young came to live with her grandmother in landlocked Nebraska, and she's still adjusting to her new life and still haunted by her past in Hawaii. Then, one by one, the students of her small town high school begin to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasing and grotesque flair. As the terror grows closer and the hunt intensifies for the killer, Makani will be forced to confront her own dark secrets. So this one sounds really good. I know there was a Netflix adaptation of this. I haven't been hearing the best things about it, but I'll be interested to kind of give that one a shot after I finish this book. So at the library, I picked up Hide and Seeker, and this is a middle grade book, and I heard it kind of is reminiscent of Stranger Things. It has that vibe. So this one says, Justin knows that something is wrong with his best friend. I went up the hill. Z went missing for a year, and when he came back, he was different. Nobody knows what happened to him. The hill was muddy. At Z's welcome home party, Justin and the neighborhood crew play hide and seek, but it goes wrong, very wrong. Stomp my toe. One by one, everyone who plays the game disappears, pulled into a world of nightmares come to life. and made it bloody. Justin and his friends realize this horrible place is where Z had been trapped. All they can do now is hide from the Seeker. So this cover is absolutely stunning, and I hope I can get to this one. I'm really wanting to get into some middle grade horror. I really enjoyed Mine by Delilah S. Dawson. I'll pull it out back here. It has this beautiful cover, and it was just a really, really comforting, fun story with some really chilling elements too. I mean, there were some actually scenes that kind of freaked me out. Not terrified me, but the imagery was just really haunting. So I would highly suggest this book. But yeah, I want to try out Hide and Seeker if I have time this season. I picked up Don't Tell a Soul by Kirsten Millard, and I honestly don't really know anything about this book except for the fact that this cover is stunning. It's so beautiful, and it says in the cover, people say the house is cursed. It preys on the weak, and young women are its favorite victims. In Luth, they're called the Dead Girls. So this seems like a haunted house book, and it's YA, and it looks really intriguing due to the cover. It's just, the art is so beautiful. So I picked up The Lost by Natasha Preston, and I heard Jacqueline talk about this. It sounds like it's about a group of teenagers who are kidnapped and held captive, and apparently it's pretty disturbing for a YA novel. It really goes there, and I'm really interested to pick up a Natasha Preston. I know she writes a lot of YA thrillers, and I've been in the mood to try to get into more YA thrillers. I don't know, I've just been wanting to try some more out, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up hopefully soon. And I picked up The Ritual, and this is by Adam Neville. I also want to read No One Gets Out Alive by the same author, but I really enjoyed The Ritual movie, and if I have time and really feel like it, I'm kind of a mood reader, so we'll see what happens. But I'll be curious to actually read The Ritual and see how it differs from the movie. But this is basically about a group of backpackers who are all friends, and one of their friends had passed away, and so they decide to go on this trip to kind of honor him, and things start to happen, tensions rise in the woods, and soon things get terrifying. So I'm really intrigued by this one. I probably will read No One Gets Out Alive first, but I may pick this one up if I'm really feeling a horror book that sort of takes place in the forest. And then, if you see a theme, I got And the Trees Crept In, and this one is by Dawn Kurtagich. I'm not quite sure how to say the last name, but yeah, this one I heard Mina from Book Skywalker talk about, and it says, a tree, it's a tree. I convinced myself of this almost fully until the thing steps forward, his head turning a fraction in my direction. I can almost hear the tiny creak as his head rotates. It is a tall, long-limbed, bulbous-headed shadow. I blink again, closer, and again closer. Closer each time, like the trees, tall, thin, eerily still, still and watchful. A man, something like a man, but he has no eyes. So that sounds really creepy and intriguing. So one of my most anticipated books for this month is Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. So this is about a wedding celebration taking place in this creepy, abandoned old mansion in Japan. But lurking in the shadows is a ghost bride who is very hungry. So I know I've said this a million times before, but the cover for this is traumatizing. Like truly, I don't think I've seen a creepier cover, and I've heard great things. I know Cami from Burrows and Books really loved this, which makes me really excited to read this, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Small Town Monsters by Diana Rodriguez Wallach is a book I really, really want to get to soon, and this was kindly sent to me by my friend Alicia from Alicia Guzman. Thank you so much. And this is described as The Conjuring meets The Vow, so that description immediately had me intrigued. And I think small town atmospheres are really perfect for this fall season. So this is about Vera, and she's her family's outcast. She really wants to escape this small town. Her parents have this reputation as being these demonologists, and this obviously reminds me a lot of Ed and Lorraine Warren. And she doesn't have her parents' unique abilities, and like I said, she just feels like an outcast and like she doesn't fit in. And also, not only does she not fit in, she also is terrified of the occult things in her basement. It really freaks her out, as anyone would naturally feel. And so Maxwell is slowly taking care of his mother before his senior year of high school, but she starts to act progressively stranger and stranger, and he starts to wonder if something more sinister is happening and maybe she's becoming possessed. And so Maxwell and Vera kind of team together and come face to face with evil. So this sounds very good, and I really hope I can get to this one soon. And also, I love the cover. I love this creepy figure kind of looming in the back. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but yeah, I'm really intrigued by this one. And also, I think it's YA. This should just be called my YA book portion of this, because I'm talking about a lot of YA books. So another book I'm really anticipating for this fall season is Dark Things I Adore by Katie Lattari. So this is a revenge novel, which, hello, I love revenge novels. I absolutely love them. I specifically love They Never Learn. So in 1988, a group of outcasts gather around a campfire and share their darkest secrets. But these secrets come back and haunt them. In 2018, esteemed art professor Max goes to his protege's remote home to view her art thesis, and he's very excited to meet up with her in private. He thinks this has some implications, but little does he know she's planned this weekend for revenge. She knows what happened the summer of 1988 and his dark secret, and she is determined to make him pay. So let's go into the dark academia section of this, and the first book I want to talk about is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and this one is by Ashley Winstead, and this is actually the group read for the Spooktober Readathon. 6 friends, 1 college reunion, 1 unsolved murder. So this is about a college reunion that turns deadly and dark. 10 years ago, Jessica and her other friends experienced the tragedy of Heather being murdered, and this tore their friend group apart. Jessica wants to move on, but not all the members of the group want to. And it becomes obvious that someone in the group wants to take revenge on the real killer. When the 6 friends reunite, they'll be forced to confront what actually happened that night and the secrets that each of them have been hiding for years. So I also really want to read A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. The description says, for fans of Wilder Girls and Ninth House comes a dark, twisty, atmospheric thriller about a boarding school haunted by its history of witchcraft and 2 girls dangerously close to digging up the past. So it sounds like history starts repeating itself, and it sounds like Felicity has to face the dark forces on the campus. So the last dark academia book I want to talk about is Have You Seen Me by Alexandrea Weis. Girls are disappearing at Waverly High, and Lindsay is missing. The new history teacher organizes this investigation team of students, but slowly they start being picked off one by one. And all of the murdered students have one thing in common with Lindsay. So this one sounds really good, and dark academia is just the perfect kind of fall aesthetic, fall vibe, and I really hope I can get to these ones soon. They may actually be books I get to in November after spooky season, but it's autumn, it's fall, it's perfect for dark academia. So the last part of this is talking about some short story collections, and there's so many fun Halloween themed ones that I'm really looking forward to getting to, so I'll name them off. I'm not going to really explain what all of them are about because they're short story collections, so there are a bunch of different stories kind of fit into these books. The first one that I definitely will get to is Autumn Crow by Cameron Chaney, and this is a fellow booktuber. His YouTube is Library of Macabre, and he's such a cool person, so I'm really excited to get to this short story collection. I've just heard such great things about it, that it's so cozy and just perfect for the October season, and that there's just so much heart in this book, so I'm really excited to get to this one. The Halloween Store and Other Tales of All Hallows Eve is another one I would like to get to, and this one is by Ronald Kelly. Dead Leaves by Kealan Patrick Burke is another one I want to get to, and I'm obsessed with this cover. It looks so good, and again, perfect autumn vibes. 13 Spooky Fall Reads, and this is by a bunch of different authors, so it would be cool to get to this one to hear all the different voices in this. So those are all the names of the story collections that I may try to pick up. I'm obviously not going to get to all of them, but I do hope to get to some of them, and I'm for sure getting to Autumn Crow. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to reading this spooky season, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!